Oh, look at this. Matt Walsh has something else dumb to say. Let's see what he has to say. He was on Twitter recently saying that pop culture died in 2007. So let's see. Everyone says that pop culture died in the 2000s. Media sucks nowadays. Movies are terrible. Nothing's funny anymore. So let's just see what he has to say. 20 minutes. 20 minutes devoted to 23 devoted to how much he hates movies nowadays. Whatever. We're probably gonna spend like an hour on this anyway. So
I want to talk about a theory that has been bouncing around in my head for several years now. And it's not just my theory. I'm sure other people have landed on this conclusion too.
this guy, by the way, refuses to condemn the Young Republicans chat because he doesn't want to like go up against his own people. He cares more about winning than condemning neo-Nazi and rape rhetoric in a group chat of prominent young conservatives. Kind of crazy. That's his character, by the way. That's insane to me. Like, there have been some Republicans that are like, yo, we can't stand by that. It's wrong. It's not worth winning if we align ourselves with like these weirdos on the right. Like, we're not unifying the right if it means unifying with like Nazis and like rape people who love talking about rape, right? But this guy won't condemn it because he has no principles.
The theory is that pop culture peaked at a specific and identifiable point in our very recent past.
His theory, not the theory, not the prevailing theory that society agrees on or society acknowledges. It's his theory. The Daily Wire has a massive problem. Every time a modern movie comes out, they'll tear it to shreds. And I'm not saying you have to like films and you have to agree with movies or whatever, but like they always rip on modern movies. It's just like it's like the same content that the Critical Drinker created. It's easy to monetize when everything you say about current pop culture is negative, or you accuse it of pushing an agenda.
And has fallen off a cliff, perhaps irretrievably since then. And I want to discuss when this peak occurred, why it dropped, where this is all leading. I want to make the case that pop culture is now dead because the culture itself, in a very real sense, is dead. And this is not just reflexive, pessimistic doomerism. Something very real and very important is happening here.
Hold on 1 second.
If you are speaking in private, and then somebody with obviously sinister intentions comes along and takes that private conversation and makes it public, in almost every case, I don't care. I'm not even paying attention to it.
Even if they are like fantasizing about raping political opponents or gassing leftists, putting them in the gas chambers, he won't even acknowledge it. He's such a coward, dude. Like, unreal. He won't even acknowledge that it's wrong. Like that it's wrong to have people like that in your camp. I just wanted to show you this because I mentioned the texting stuff and I wanted to bring it up, but here.
Teen comedy. 2008 gave us The Dark Knight, The Wrestler, Tropic Thunder, which was one of the last great comedies of any type to be made by Hollywood.
He likes Tropic Thunder, but like conservatives will rip on The Boys because The Boys is too woke, even though The Boys is funny and takes shots at everyone. Kind of weird to me.
We get a few more decent comedies between 2009 and 2013, and that would be it. The entire genre essentially died after that point. Now, back in 2007, 2008, every genre was thriving. They were still making great children's movies. Ratatouille in 2007, Wall-E in 2008. Even the smaller movies that didn't light up the box office.
You guys like Wall-E? Wall-E's like an anti-corporate like climate change film. You guys don't even recognize climate change, and you're all about corporations. You love giving tax breaks to wealthy billionaires and corporations. I'm shocked that he even recognizes like that he likes Wall-E. Wall-E is an anti-corporate, pro-environmentalist film, like at its core. Seriously,
office were exceptional. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford's a really good movie. The Mist, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, Once in
Mist. I love The Mist. Don't get me wrong. I'm just shocked that he likes it. They hate Stephen King stuff.
Bruges. I didn't personally enjoy Juno or Gran Torino all that much, but
Gran Torino was really good. I'm actually shocked he didn't. I'm actually shocked he didn't like Gran Torino because Clint Eastwood's a massive conservative, and Clint Eastwood, all of his movies, including Gran Torino, is about like an old guy doing the right thing, sticking up for people who get bullied. Like it's always like I'm shocked that he didn't like. That's like a. I'm shocked he didn't like Gran Torino. Juno, I'm not surprised about. I mean, I wouldn't imagine. Although, hold on though, I'm actually shocked. Wait a minute, rewind. Although they hate Elliot Page, obviously because of the trans thing. But I'm shocked that he doesn't like Juno, because Juno is a film about teen pregnancy, and Matt has repeatedly said in the past that the best age for a woman to get pregnant is like 16. He said that. He's quoted by saying that. Okay, you can look it up yourself. It's all over the internet. Although I will say though, Juno is a like a bad case study of like what goes wrong during teen pregnancy. Maybe he doesn't like it for that reason. Maybe he like because he's pro teen pregnancy, and I'm not making this up. You can look at the quotes. Maybe he doesn't like how it's a negative comment on that. I can see that actually.
They came out at this time, and they're both better, more daring, more original than the vast majority.
And maybe he doesn't like Gran Torino because it's about a white guy that sticks up for people of color. Maybe that's I can see. Okay, I'm starting to get him a little more now.
Of the slop Hollywood puts out these days. Gone Baby Gone. Ben Affleck film was another very good film to come out during this time. Apocalypto, for my money, a nearly perfect movie. Almost came out in 2007. It premiered in theaters in December of 2006. So did Children of Men. In fact, you can make an argument for expanding the peak to include 2006, a 3-year period then.
Children of Men, huh? Children, Pokemon. Fuck yeah, dude. He's an idiot. Children. Oh, whoops. I forgot to type Children of Men. Whoops, I forgot to type the whole thing. It's a dystopian action thriller. The film is set in 2027 when 2 decades of human infidelity have left humans still on the brink of collapse. Asylum seekers seek sanctuary. Wait, what? He likes Children of Men. Asylum seekers seek sanctuary in the UK where they have to detention and deportation. He likes that movie? That movie is not at all a positive comment. If anything, you could argue that film today is not a positive comment on what we're doing as a country. It's about human infertility, which they do have a problem with declining birth rates, despite there being a very nuanced conversation about that. Birth rates are declining because it's expensive to have children. It's no longer seen as a viable option. People are going to college and having careers more. They're putting off having children. And like I said, it's very, very expensive. Things cost more nowadays. We don't have livable wages, so it doesn't make sense to bring children in when you can't even afford to raise them. Okay? Not everyone makes millions of dollars like Matt does. Most people are regular people who have salaries where they're barely able to live because everything's just so expensive. But I'm shocked that he likes Children of Men when it's literally asylum seekers seek sanctuary where they have to detention and deportation by the government. He plays a civil servant who escapes the chaos. Seriously? Matt Walsh likes a movie about asylum seekers? No fucking way, dude. He hates asylum seekers. They think every immigrant's a criminal and a rapist.
Covering 06 through 08. 2006 gave us not only...
I'm not making that up. We have an entire wing of the Justice Department that's dedicated to rounding up people and deporting them without due process. It doesn't even matter if they're citizens or if they're waiting for immigration appointments or if they don't even care. They'll judge them by their tattoos. They'll deport them because they think they're Venezuelan gang members, even though they're not. I'm telling you right now, the fact that he likes Children of Men is alarming, to say the least.
Apocalypto and Children of Men, but it also gave us Departed.
It's ironic.
The Departed, Borat, The Prestige, Rescue Dawn, Idiocracy, Pursuit of Happiness.
Idiocracy? Borat? Again, these are things that, Idiocracy is quite literally describes what the current day Republican Party is doing now. The populism, the focus on, red pilling and working out. Like Republicans care more about going to the gym than they do about educating themselves about how their government works. Idiocracy describes verbatim what MAGA is today. So the fact that he cites that as a good film is kind of ironic to me. It's like he doesn't get that, hey, Idiocracy was made to comment how society was shifting from a more intelligent and civil society to this weird, fringe, outrage-fueled, MAGA culture that cares more about your personal appearance and if you work out or not than if you know anything about how the government works, right? I'm shocked that he even gets that, honestly. And by the way, Borat 2, in my opinion, exposed Rudy Giuliani for being kind of a predator and a pervert. So the fact that he cites Borat, that film franchise, is kind of crazy to me. I don't understand this guy's political alignment. I really don't understand it. He likes a lot of movies that comment on his own political party.
You could throw
Idiocracy predicted the rise of MAGA. Perfectly predicted it.
A dart at a list of every movie released during this period, and the chances are pretty high that you'll hit something good, maybe even
I mean, really, this was a great movie. Came out in 2007. You want to say pop culture peaked in 07? You want to cite all these movies? This was a good movie, epic movie, horse shit, awful. In fact, epic movie released a lot of similar ones, like the 300 spinoff or like the Twilight parodies. I'm telling you right now, um, this was a terrible film. List of films considered the worst. Let's go in 2000 and Battlefield Earth. Shit. Oh, Ballistic, X versus Severed, Master of Disguise, Swept Away, Glitter, Justin Kelly, The Room, Giggly, The Sex Lives of Potato Man, Catwoman, Super Babies, Alone in the Dark, epic movie, I Know Who Killed Me, disaster movie, another parody film. Meet the Spartans. What did I say? The 300 one. I'm telling you, he says, "Oh, pop culture peaked." There's several horrible movies here from the 2000s. Are you kidding me?
Great.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Even on something as silly and meaningless as pop culture, not anything politically charged or about our government, but something as silly and non-offensive as pop culture, he still doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm blown away that this man is paid a lot of money to just have diarrhea of the mouth. There's no substance here. There's no research. There's no critical thinking. In the 2000s alone came epic movie, Meet the Spartans, and disaster movie. 3 parody films that were all considered one of the worst movies of all time. I'm sorry, but if anything, pop culture today versus pop culture in the 2000s, I wouldn't say are any different. There's good movies, there's bad ones. That's how it is. That's how it's always been. That's how it always will be. He can't prove anything here.
And maybe even a masterpiece. And this holds truer for television shows. Now, if you were to make a list of the 10 greatest TV shows ever made, 5 of those shows that you would likely put on your list were on the air during this time. The Wire, The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Mad Men, The Office. A lot of people.
Oh, I'm shocked that he mentions The Office because typically conservatives don't like that. They think it's too woke. They think it's like, because The Office kind of makes fun of people like him, you know. I'm shocked that he actually mentions that. Oh, crap.
Great. And maybe even a masterpiece. And this holds truer for television shows. Now, if you were to make a list of the 10 greatest TV shows ever made, 5 of those shows that you would likely put on your list were on the air during this time. The Wire, The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Mad Men, The Office. A lot of people would make an argument for The Shield as one of the great shows of all time. It was also on the air at this time. Lost had its best seasons during these years. Curb Your Enthusiasm was hitting on all cylinders. South Park hadn't fallen off a cliff yet like it has now.
I love how he says it fell off a cliff, even though Charlie Kirk was like totally into it. Charlie Kirk loved being made fun of. He was into that shit, and he can't even acknowledge that. That's insane to me. That's crazy. Okay, you can't really list Breaking Bad because Breaking Bad was in both decades, so you really can't count that. But I'll give it to them. Game of Thrones, Better Call Saul, okay, Chernobyl, Planet Earth, Blue Planet, Boardwalk Empire, Homeland, Twin Peaks. Westworld, Succession, Veep, Homecoming, Fargo, Stranger Things, arguably one of the biggest series of all time. Okay, Hannibal, very, very good show, highly rated, beloved, right? Mr. Robot, The Americans, Master of None, yeah, Atlanta, boom, everyone loves it. Sherlock, everyone loves it. Ran for 7 years. Downton Abbey, American Crime Story, Modern Family, massive show. Hell, why not bring on Modern Family? That ran for 11 years, mostly in the 2010s. House of Cards, successful. Daredevil, successful. Rick and Morty, massive. Orange is the New Black. I mean, these are. He's saying that, oh, it was less than the 2000s. Look at all these shows. Penny Dreadful, Haunting of Hill House, Bodyguard, Feud, Transparent, This Is Us, The Walking Dead was massive. For 12 years it ran. 2 decades, almost, okay? Bates Motel, Black Mirror, big show, still running today. Orphan Black, Shameless. Oh my god, how could he not even? Oh my god, he says it peaked. He says pop culture peaked in the 2000s, and there's 100 best shows here. Shameless is a massive one. You can't say that it peaked. American Horror Story, big show. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, that's everywhere. I can't escape that show. Narcos. Oh my god, Narcos is huge. Ran for 2 years, but it was massive. Barry. Ozark. Oh my god, Vikings. Can't escape that. I see it every. Euphoria. Big. Silicon Valley. Big Bang Theory. Oh my god, how can you even... Dude, Big Bang Theory. Although it does prove his argument right, because it was a good show in the 2000s, but it was still a great show, throughout the 2010s. The Punisher, the OA, highly rated. The fact that the OA only had 16 episodes, but it's still on this list, says something. It must have made a massive, impact. Series of unfortunate events. I'm actually surprised to see that the Crown. That's huge. Curb Your Enthusiasm. There it is. 24 years it's been on for. The Good Wife. It's Always Sunny. That's a massive show. Handmaid's Tale. Massively. I know that conservatives hate the Handmaid's Tale or whatever. Because they think they're being attacked unfairly. Even though conservatives are responsible for a lot of policy changes that are reminiscent of the Handmaid's Tale. But again, massive show. Proof. Mad Men. Whatever, I'll allow it. Louis, Mindhunter, Marvelous Miss Maisel, huge. Watchmen. Actually, I'm surprised this one was on the list. The Young Pope, big, right? Short, limited series, but still big. He doesn't know what he's talking about. There's 100 shows at least that are considered the best TV series of the 2010s. He doesn't have any concept of reality.
Now 30 Rock, not my bag, but it was a solid network sitcom, also airing at this time. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was in its prime. The extremely underrated.
There it is. It's still in its prime. It's still very popular.
Hilarious Flight of the Conchords premiered on HBO.
Huh. That's a deep cut. I'm shocked he knows about that one. I mean, it's a good show. Don't get me wrong, but that's an interesting one to include.
In 2007, for my money, one of the funniest shows of all time, Extras. Ricky Gervais' show was airing on the same network at the same time. I would argue that if you factor both movies and TV shows together, you cannot point to a 1 or 2 or even 3 year period that beats it. The volume of great cinema. And
I just showed you 100 great TV shows from the 2010s that disproves that entire argument. Just TV shows alone. We don't even get into the movies of the 2010s. All the Marvel movies that came out, all the horror movies that were making the rounds, legendary horror films came out in the 2010s. I mean, it can't even, it's crazy. He's like, you can't point to a period. No, I can't. I just gave you 100 considered best TV shows, period.
And television can't be matched. Now, 1999 was a great year for movies. So was 1996. So was 19.
Hold on a second here. Wait. Worst movies of 1999. Really? You want to talk about the a great year? Baby Geniuses, Wing Commander, The King and I, Gloria, Dudley Do Right, The Haunting. The Haunting was a piece of shit movie. That was absolutely fucking garbage. Let's show the 33 worst films of 1999. Okay. The Mod Squad, Universal Soldier, Jawbreaker, Friends and Lovers, The Omega Code, The Bachelor, The Wing Commander, End of Days, garbage fucking film. Chill Factor, King and I, Pokemon the movie, I thought was really good, but whatever. It's not exactly a great film. It's not going to be considered a great film as a Pokemon cartoon, okay? Wild Wild West, Bats, The Haunting, Gloria, Trippin', Teaching Miss Tingle, Inspector Gadget, The Rage, Carrie 2, god damn, it sucks. Stigmata, blows. General's Daughter, garbage movie. Deuce Bigelow, garbage. Rob Schneider, garbage. Wow, dude. Doug's first movie, the fact that they gave that a fucking movie, they give Doug a movie is insane to me. I mean, this is a horrible year. I don't know why he's speaking of 1999 with such reverence. These are terrible films. Wow, dude. What, he doesn't know anything. He even just something as harmless as movies and pop culture. He still has no concept of reality. What is he from a different universe? Did we figure out multiversal travel? Is he just talking in his universe? Were there great shows and movies in '99? Because I'm telling you right now, I just gave you 42 examples of shitty ones.
1975, 1939 gave us both Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, you don't get any points as a movie critic or as any person, critic whatsoever, for citing Gone with the Wind. Can we just agree that it's from 1939 and it's boring? Yeah, it might have been a great film at the time, but isn't Gone with the Wind 4 hours long? Let's look at Gone with Wind. Jesus Christ! Everyone cites that. Oh, Gone with the Wind. Casablanca, great. I feel like if you bring that up, you're a snob. You're a movie snob. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Gone with the Wind. Length. Let's do that. How long is this fucking movie? Like 4 hours, right? Isn't it like 3-4 hours? Again, you don't win any points by bringing up Gone with the Wind. Yikes! Holy fuck shit! That's insane. Why is it considered one of the best films? Epic historical romance. What's the point of this? On the eve of the American Civil War. Oh, it's about the Civil War, huh? Huh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. You don't get any points for bringing up Gone with the Wind. This is a guy that's like, well, back in my day, movies were better. Movies were better. Now they mean nothing. Now it's all woke culture. Bro, 1999, garbage year for films, okay? The 2010s, 100 best TV shows in the 2010s alone proves that there's probably just as much, if not better, content in the 2010s than the 2000s, okay? Hell, that list didn't even include Dexter, and I'm pretty sure Dexter ran past the 2010s. That's insane to me. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
But 2007 to 2008 or 2006 to 2008 gave us masterpieces on both the big and small screen. Both art forms seem to have reached their pinnacle at the same time. And what we could say for sure, with absolute certainty, is that no year or 2-year period or 3-year period after 07 to 08 comes anywhere close.
Really?
And that's the most important point, because even if you argue that there were better years before 07 or 06, the point is that nothing comes close in the years since. Now, you may not think that 2007 was the best period. I think it was. Doesn't matter.
Really?
All that matters for my theory is that it was the last great one.
Really?
If it wasn't the peak, it was the last peak. Now, there have been great films since then. Some of my favorites, Whiplash, Sicario, The Social Network, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'm going to show you something, okay? Best film of the 2020s. Okay? I'm going to show you something right here, okay? Best films of the 2020s so far. Wicked. Got great reviews, apparently. The Apprentice got great reviews. Donald Trump didn't like it, but whatever. Superman got great reviews. Underperformed at the box office, but great reviews nonetheless. Count of Monte Cristo. I didn't know that came out. Happening, not The Happening. Cool, whatever. Puss in Boots. Great reviews, apparently, for a kid's movie. Flow. Great reviews, okay. Better Man. I never knew who this guy was. Didn't hear of him, but I heard this biopic came out, and then boom, it blew up. Everyone loved it. Crazy to me. Sinners, great movie. Brutalist, didn't watch it, but apparently it was a great movie. Pretty sure he won an Oscar for it. Heard this was really good. Heard this was very good. Heard this was very good. Heard this was very good. Yeah, this was good. Heard this was good. I don't know what this is, but I don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. Oh, heard this was good. Don't know what that is. I know what this is. I heard it was good, but whatever. Not my cup of tea. Heard this was great. 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 Oh my god. I don't know what that is, honestly. Okay. Look at all these movies. Like, even if I didn't see them, if I didn't hear them, I'm sure they're so great. I mean, these are considered the best 50 best films. We have 50 alone right now in 5 years. I just think it's crazy. It's just nuts to me that he can say that. All these great films came out. All of them. All right, Poor Things is really good. Killers of the Flower Moon, yeah, of course. Yeah, Spider-Man. Oh, this is a great movie. Great movie. Oh, God. Oppenheimer, oh my God. I'm just telling you, okay, to sit here and say that nothing since then has been better, has been great, is a straight up lie. You don't have to like him, but you can recognize that most of the film critics, industry people in pop culture unanimously agree that these are the 50 best movies of oh wait, this is 2023. Oh, the 2020s. Yes, okay. He's a liar.
Plenty of others. I mentioned In Bruges, which came out in 2008. The Banshees of Inisherin is a better film by the same director and same lead actors, which came out in 2022. But these films are spread out over a period of nearly 2 decades, and they're drowned in a sea of slop. Remakes, franchise films.
I agree that there's a sea of slop regarding like reboots and remakes and stuff. I get it. But you have to understand, like, the technology's far better nowadays. You know, there are more writers, there are more opportunities to create. There's more of a demand to have like things rebooted or reset, done with better technology. It's what happens when the filmmaking process just becomes better. That's what like, it's inevitable. I don't hate it. It's inevitable that we're going to get a reboot because we have better technology. We can make it look better on screen. I'm not surprised that that happens. I don't think it's not proof that like movies are worse nowadays. I mean, what do you call the disaster movie, epic movie, and Meet the Spartans all came out in the 2000s. You're saying that the 2000s were the best? I showed you 100 best TV shows from the 2010s and 50 best movies from the 2020s. Clearly, the quality has not dropped off.
Sequels.
I just don't think he is. I think because he's so far right, he has to shit on Hollywood because that's their motto. That's their motto. That's what they do. The far right shits all over Hollywood. So what he'll do is he'll give a vague compliment and say, "Oh yeah, well actually the 2000s were really good." I guarantee you, if he had this show in the 2000s, he'd be saying, "Man, the 90s were better. I hate this decade. This is the worst decade of movies ever." I'm telling you right now, nostalgia is easy because you really can't fact check it for the most part, and you can't disagree if it's like an opinion. So he can say, "Oh, the 2010s were the best." But I'm telling you, if he had his show during the 2010s, he would have said the 90s or the 80s were the best and the 2010s were the worst. He has no principles, no substance. Period. Okay.
Superheroes. And there have also been good TV shows since 2008. The first.
There were terrible superhero movies in the 2000s. We have great superhero films now. The technology's better, and we've had so many of them that we learn, hey, what didn't work, what did work, what can we do? There's a more diversity when it comes to superhero films now than there ever have been. The fact that we don't have shitty movies like the Fantastic Four anymore. We have better films, better renditions. Even the Eternals wasn't well received, but it looked great. It was a great looking film.
First season of True Detective came out in 2014. Chernobyl in 2019, an absolute masterpiece.
He's cherry picking a few good ones, but there's like 100 here,
in my opinion. But again, nothing like the murderer's row of The Wire, Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, Mad Men, The Shield, overlapping each other. Throw a dart at a list of any movie or show that came out after 2008.
Here, right here. I'm throwing 100 darts right now. 100 darts. There's a lot of examples here.
And especially any that have come out in the past 10 years.
Hold on, and just prove that Matt Walsh is an idiot. Hold on a second. This is the 100 best TV shows from the 2010s. Proof that your comment on how pop culture died after 2007 is simply wrong. You are pop culture illiterate and a fool. Go back, yeah, just go with this sucking off Trump, honestly. I'm serious. I can post a fact like that and I'll be ignored or hated because his followers don't critically think either.
And especially any that have come out in the last 5 years, and your chance of hitting something even watchable, much less good, much less great, is significantly smaller. I mean, sure, you might hit something like Severance, which is a true artistic triumph, I think, but you're much more likely to land somewhere in the sea of just mediocre streaming sludge that we're all swimming in.
If you're gonna lie, you better be good at it. Because right now, I have all the proof on my side. I'm just telling you right now, I have all the proof supporting my claim that it didn't drop off. Let's see. Best TV shows so far. So let's go back to. Don't know what this is, but apparently it's good. Heard about this. Good. Did not hear about this. I don't watch a lot of TV, like modern TV. Ted Lasso, great. Queen's Gambit, great. Baby Reindeer, that everyone talked about that. Oh my god, everyone loved that. Everyone loves this. This was great. Don't know what that is. This was great. This is so great that it crossed over with It's Always Sunny, which is insane to me. Heard this is good. I see ads for this all the time. Heard this is a great reboot. And it's not really a reboot when it goes deeper into the lore. Heard this is good. Heard this is good. I mean, like, look at all these shows. Oh my God, Last of Us, great show, award-winning. Oh my God, everyone, I can't get anyone to stop talking about the fucking bear. Okay, I mean, it's so annoying. I hear it all the time. Everyone loves that. White Lotus. Everyone fucking talks about White Lotus. No one stops about it. No one stops talking about it. Everyone loves it. Okay, proof that we have great shows in the 2020s. A lot of them, 50 of them at least. Heard this is good. Heard this was good. Everyone talks about this, calling it a miracle. It's a Star Wars show, but apparently it's a miracle because it talks about politics really well. Severance, great show. Good show. Heard this was good. 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 Actually, this is amazing. Everyone loves this show. Like, it's proof, dude. It's proof that there are good shows. Okay? I mean, it's just the fact that he can't even, like, acknowledge that. It's horse shit. What a loser. What a fucking loser.
Why? What happened? Well, two other things premiered in the 07-08 period that might help explain the problem. The first, the one that conservatives will most likely point to, is Barack Obama's presidency. Obama was, of course, elected in 2008. He took off.
Shit, dude, he's gonna blame Obama for his opinion on pop culture dying in 2007. These guys will blame Obama for everything. They can have diarrhea and be like, "Fuck, man, I hate Obama for what he did to me." Like, I'm serious. They will blame Obama for everything. I'm surprised they haven't blamed Obama for 9/11 yet.
Office in 2009. And with the election of our first truly far-left president, a radical black activist.
Bro, they're calling him far left, and he bailed out like massive corporations. He was giving tax breaks. He was allowing tax breaks for the super wealthy. He was hardly far left. Okay, I've heard Obama be described as like George Bush, like Jr., like light, like, you know, George W. Bush light, because of all the shit he did for Republicans. He was super bipartisan.
Activist who used his.
Obama is so far left. Crazy. The fact that Obama came out and was like accused of not being Christian and then ended up working and like going to church regularly to promote his image just shows you how not far left he is. He's honestly, Obama's probably more of a centrist.
Race as a cudgel against the entire country. We entered the era of what we would come to call wokeness.
Oh my God. I can't believe he's actually genuinely blaming the Obama presidency for the reason that, in his mind, pop culture died after 2007. We've had some amazing television shows. I posted a link here. 100 best TV shows from the 2010s. We're not going to give Obama any credit. If you're going to blame Obama for the dip in culture, can we give him credit for the rise in some of the greatest shows of all time? I'm not going to blame Obama for either one of those things. That's stupid. I'm just saying, the fact that he's blaming him, but wouldn't even recognize that during that 10-year period, we had some of the greatest content ever.
All forms of risky, interesting, provocative artistic expression.
If we're going to blame Obama for the death of pop culture, can we blame President Bush for epic movie, disaster movie, and Meet the Spartans? Can I blame George W. Bush? Can I write to him and be like, "Dear George W. Bush, thank you for giving those 3 piece of shit parody movies. I hate you. Also, I hate the fact that you did 9/11 too."
Began to die off as a result, starting with comedy. It is really striking, as many people have pointed out, to look at a list of the best comedies of this century and notice how the genre simply disappears from the face of the earth by the end of Obama's first term. Not a coincidence. But that is not the whole story. And it isn't even half of the story.
I can't believe he's even blaming Obama for it, though. This is crazy to me. Hold on. Hold on. Blaming Obama for your opinion that pop culture died in 07 is toxic level of mental gymnastics. I don't like how do you even look at yourself in a mirror when you can vomit such a ridiculous lie, such as that. If we are blaming Obama, then let's blame Bush Jr. for literally epic movie, and I'll just do two, and disaster movie. Like, get some help, Matt. Please just get some help. Holy fucking shit, dude! What a loser.
Because something else happened in 2007 that would prove to be
Oh boy,
a much more determinative factor.
what happened?
The iPhone was, of course, released in the US on June 29th, 2007. And again, it is startling to look at a list of the greatest films and TV shows of this century.
No way.
And see how many of them were packed in and produced from the year 2000 right up until the release of the iPhone, and how quickly everything drops off almost from that moment precisely, or within a year or so of it.
There were plenty of bad movies in the early 2000s before the iPhone ever came out. What is this iPhone connection here? Do they fact check him? Does he do any research, or is it just like word vomit, like diarrhea of the mouth? He's just constantly spewing diarrhea.
The iPhone came out, social media proliferated alongside it.
I don't know if I can sit through another 12 minutes of this shit, dude. I'm serious. Or sorry, 15 minutes of this. I don't know if I can do that.
2007, only about 23% of American adults had ever used social media. Twitter had only just been launched. TikTok didn't exist. Instagram didn't exist. Today, of course, basically everyone uses social media, basically every waking moment of the day. Now, here's the point. As our lives have become increasingly centered around these devices, centered and condensed into these little glowing boxes.
If you're going to blame iPhones, and how do you explain, hold on, worst films between 2000 and 2006, okay? If you're going to blame the iPhone, then can we talk about, then what do we blame? Who do we blame? What piece of technology do we blame on this shit here? Mr. and Mrs. Smith, X-Men Last Stand, Matrix. By the way, I liked all these movies, but these were panned critically. Terrible movie. Terrible movie. Terrible movie. Terrible movie. Terrible movie. Terrible. 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 All terrible. These are all terrible. Okay. By the way, I liked Ocean's 12, but they were not good movies. These are the worst movies of the 2000s. Okay. Wow. Terrible. Terrible. Wow. Pearl Harbor's was really that bad. Wow. Terrible. Ooh. Terrible. 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 All terrible movies. What do we blame there? Do we blame, I don't know, like the corded phones that you hang up in your house in your kitchen? What do we blame? If you're blaming the iPhone for the drop in quality, then what do we blame for the drop in quality from the year 2000 up until 2005 or 6?
We have lost something very important. We no longer have a shared cultural experience, what some have called the monoculture, or what you might just call mainstream.
Do you really want to have a mainstream culture? Don't you guys hate mainstream culture? Don't you guys hate shared culture? I mean, I'm confused. Like, they don't want a shared culture, but they have their own streaming service, like the Daily Wire has their own movies, or they have their own halftime show because they don't want to share culture with Bad Bunny and people that like Puerto Rican music. I'm shocked that he's talking about this right now.
Stream culture. The monoculture began its march to extinction in 2007. Today, the march is over. Process is complete.
Wow.
There is no shared culture. The monoculture gave way to the fragmented culture, a culture broken and divided into 300 million little pieces.
He's so miserable. Like, he's genuinely so miserable. Like, what a loser. We no longer have a monoculture. We never really had a monoculture. Look at the 2000s. Look how many different types of movies there were. Superhero films, dramas, comedies, parody films, romance movies, horror films. There were so many different types of movies. Now, because of the iPhone, we have a fragmented 300-minute little pieces culture. Like, what? What kind of argument is that, dude? Like, what he sounds like to me is just like a miserable old man. He can't take joy in anything. No matter what comes out, he finds a problem with it. He's negative about it. I would hate myself if I were like him, if I were this miserable, genuinely. Like, brother, monoculture. We never had a monoculture. Look at all the movies in the 80s and the 90s. Horror films, action movies, comedies, rom-coms, dramas. Like, you could have The Godfather come out and then Terminator come out, or you could have Last Action Hero come out. You can have Jurassic Park come out. You can have The Thing come out in 1982, right? We never had a monoculture. We've always had a pretty diverse set of experiences. And nowadays, with the phones, we could argue that there's more diversity, there's more variation. I don't mean like diversity like DEI. I mean, there's more variation now. There's nothing wrong with that. How can you sit there and say, oh, pop culture peaked in '07 when we got epic movie? Like, we've always had lazy cash grabs. Like the movie See Spot Run. Absolute lazy cash grab. Piece of shit movie. Garbage film. 2000s.
A culture driven by algorithms, designed to feed us a nonstop diet of lowest common denominator slop all the time.
We had social media in the 2010s, right? And we had the 100 best TV shows in the 2010s. 100 best TV shows. Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, Dexter should be included in that list too, okay? Amazing shows. I mean, like, come on, dude.
Now, for as long as modern pop culture...
To not even recognize that we've had massive success in the 2010s and the 2020s is just copium levels. He's coping massively right now. He doesn't have any logic that he's talking about. It's just a stream of consciousness, negativity, and diarrhea. That's all this is coming out of Matt's head right now.
Culture has existed going back to the mid-1900s at least. There have been subcultures. There have been divisions along generational lines, sure. Monoculture didn't mean that...
What he wants is every movie, television show to be conservative, to have an agenda, to preach about God, to preach about anti-woke stuff, to preach their version of biology. I'm not even talking about biology, but like their anti-trans message. They want everything to be a straight, like a TV show or movie about a straight white couple. They don't want any variation. Yeah, he wants a true monoculture, but the fact of the matter is we've never had that. Even the 2000s had a laundry list of black films. Hell, even the 90s gave us Friday. So I'm like, what he wants is movies and TV shows and music to reflect his views, only his views. And what people like him, when they do that, they're the old man sitting on their porch yelling at the kids to get off their lawn. That's how miserable he is. I don't know how much more I can devote to this garbage, honestly. Him just like ranting about how much movies suck nowadays.
Everyone's cultural experience was exactly the same, with no variations whatsoever. All it meant was that, generally speaking, we all watched the same movies, same TV shows.
Why do you want that? Because you want to indoctrinate the people that into things that you believe in? Like, we all have to watch the same things. We can't have variation anymore. I have to watch the same shit as you do. I'm not asking you to watch the same stuff as I do. I'm just asking you to recognize that there wasn't a drop-off. There was a spike. We got a surge in amazing TV shows and movies in the 2010s and 2020s. I'm like shocked. Like, he wants us to all watch the same thing, consume what he consumes, because his way of life is correct. Typical Christian, man. They all think that what they're doing is the right thing and everybody else is wrong, with absolutely no facts to back it up.
And even if we didn't watch them, we knew about the popular ones that other people were watching. Not everybody watched Seinfeld in the 90s, but most people did. And if you didn't, you still knew about Seinfeld. You recognized the characters. It was still part of your cultural experience. It was a cultural benchmark for everyone, even if you didn't watch it. And that's because, we went to the same places to access all this stuff. We went to the same movie theaters. We browsed through the aisles at Blockbuster. We turned on our TV. We scanned through the same channels.
This is a guy that can't accept that the world is changing. The world is becoming more complex, more connected. There's more variation. This is a guy that used to live in a world that was pretty simple and easy to define. And nowadays, there are many different subgroups, many different cultures. He can't stomach how complex the world is. So he has to complain about how things used to be better without any facts or reason or logic. And he has to plead that we have to go back to that. We have to have a monoculture. No more variation. Everything's too complicated. He is so miserable and so unhappy. And I think that's all we're going to spend on this today. Because I don't know if I want to sit there another 13 minutes of him blabbering on about how life used to be better. And ever since Obama and iPhones, life is become worse, and pop culture is horrible nowadays, even though there are several articles I can point to, and I have in this video, proving him wrong. The fact of the matter is, and I'll always say this about Matt or the Daily Wire in general, and conservatives, honestly, is you guys all lie. You don't have any facts. You complain. You're miserable. You're unwilling to engage when I call you out or publicly address your lies. You just want to sit in your echo chamber and spew garbage because it makes you feel better. Conservatives are the ultimate snowflakes. They want to be coddled and held and kissed on the forehead when life gets too complicated or things happen that they don't understand. Conservatives, I'll say this now, I'll say this to your faces, I'll say this over a Zoom call, I don't care. You're all snowflakes. It's the truth. This was an example of it. This word vomit diatribe about how life and how pop culture died in '07 because of Obama and the iPhone. This is proof of that. You guys are all snowflakes. You don't have any substance. And honestly, we should do the daily cancellation here on his for his honor. We should cancel Matt Walsh for completely lying and misrepresenting what culture has become since 2007. Anyway, I'm Scott. This is Cypher Division. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think. Am I wrong? Is he wrong? Do you think pop culture died in 2007? I want to know what you think. See you guys later. Peace out.